Hello, my name is Kaylee Schnack, and I'm here to complete my program completion commitment timeline. A part of the Fort Hays State administration program is that we submit these tasks, and this is the first task for us to complete. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into slide one and just talk about why I went into education and when I decided to become an educator. So I decided to become an educator when I was back in kindergarten, which was all the way back in the year of 1996. I just had a really awesome kindergarten teacher who just influenced me and just was the sweetest and warmest teacher and just showed so much thoughtfulness and careful and caring abilities that I wanted to do the same thing. I love the way she taught us things, how she let us explore the world and just let us be kids. So I knew that I wanted to be a teacher because of her, and I just kind of kept that in the back of my mind as I went through school. I knew that teaching was a great profession, and I wanted the opportunity to do what she did because I loved the impact that she left on me in my life. Slide two is when I started my first teaching job. So I graduated from Southwestern College. I graduated from Southeast of Saline with just a high school diploma, and then I went to Southwestern College, and so I started the fall of 2013, which is in Winfield, as a special education unified classroom teacher. And along with starting that, I needed to get a master's in special education, as that was one of the qualifications to take that position. So I also started my career at Wichita State, and I ended up getting a degree in special education, unified early childhood. Slide three, when I changed my teaching responsibilities. So like I said previously, I was a special education teacher and I stayed in that field area for about 6 years. After 6 years, I was just kind of feeling undervalued, unappreciated, and I felt like I was falling out of the love of teaching. As a family, we decided to move back to Kansas after we'd gone to Iowa, and I switched from special education to general education, and became a third grade teacher in 2019, and I've been in gen ed ever since. Slide four, when I added additional extracurricular activities or duties. So I officially added extracurricular activity duties in the year of 2019 when I moved back to Kansas. I was hired for the volleyball team for Russell High School. I coached the C team girls, and I loved coaching. And the only reason I left is because of COVID-19, and I was also pregnant. So I opted out of my contract. In 2021, I was selected by my school was selected by a grant process for an after-school program, and so then I decided to do that as well, and so that wouldn't allow me to be the coach anymore. And so this is now my extracurricular activities is this after-school program. It's giving me great administrative experience, because I'm the coordinator for this school, and so I get to deal with parents, I get to deal with students, I get to deal with teachers, and actually community stakeholders, which is just a perfect way to get introduced into that admin world. Slide five, when I decided to become a school leader. Like I said previously, I have been in education for 9 years as a teacher. 4 of those years, so back in 2016, I just had some difficulties with administration, and my experiences weren't good. And they were just based on decisions of placement for teaching, and I just felt like I wasn't being heard as a teacher, and it was more of like a power struggle. And it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt like eventually I should be in that position because I know how I feel, and I can only imagine how others would feel. So then in year 5, 2017 of my career, I moved to Iowa, and I still struggled with teaching and my administrator, and I just didn't feel like I could do anything right, and so I thought about leaving the profession. But in year 6, which is 2018, I moved back to Kansas, decided to reboot for a year and fall back in love with being a teacher, and then I went on finding myself loving the career, and given meaningful opportunities and leadership roles. So then I felt like it was time for me to make that transition to school leadership, and being that that leader. Um, and so with the help of teachers, I fell in love with the career of teaching, and then I just decided to make that journey. So I was gonna do it in my year 8, but I ended up getting pregnant, and so I just held off. And so now it's year 9, and I've started the journey, and I'm really excited to finish. Slide 6. I started this program in summer of 2021. I had applied February 2020, but with the pandemic happening and me being pregnant, I didn't know how that would all go, and it was just a lot of what ifs. So I just decided to reapply in February of 2021, and then I took my first class in June of 2021. Slide 7. When did I plan to take each course for my program study? So when I decided to pursue the administration path, I wanted to get the certification as soon as possible. I'm not currently looking for an administrative position. However, I am not I'm not excited all the time to go back to school. I've gotten 2 master's degrees already, so I've pretty been schooled out, if you would say. But I just wanted to get it done. And I had planned on taking each course once a semester, but I wanted to be able to do the practicum in the spring instead of the summer. So I'm planning on finishing in spring of 2022. Um, and I also have a little one that runs around, a 14-month-old little boy. So I just want to get it done as soon as possible. I know that there will also be district changes. And I don't want my principal to be moving or me to be moving if anything was to happen. And I really want my principal to be my mentor. So that's why I decided to move fast as well. With that being said, I have taken 2 summer courses. So that was in June and July of 2021. I took 3 fall courses, which was August, October, and then October to December. And then I took 1 intercession course, which was technically 2022. It started in December and will finish in January. And then I am taking 1 spring course, which is the final practicum in 2022 to meet the program of study. Slide 8. When do you plan to start the e-portfolio? I started my e-portfolio over Christmas break 2021 as I had downtime from work, and I was able to complete most or a good chunk of it. But I plan on just getting all the prerequisites done so I don't have to stress over it in the final semester. Slide 9. When do you plan to complete the e-portfolio? Hopefully before the last class or the last part of the spring semester. My goal is to get most of it by winter break completed or close to. So. And then slide 10 is if and when do I plan to leave the classroom for an administration position? Currently, I'm just focusing on getting the necessary classes completed for their certification, looking at administration positions, maybe a couple years down the road. Just being a new mom, I don't want to take a lot of time away from my own child. And there's that difficulty strand on our current principals. I just see them struggling with COVID-19 in the community, and people are always mad at them for something to deal usually with that. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if the positions get better, and I just keep reading of teachers leaving and administrators leaving. And I just don't want to risk my own mental health or time away from my family if the job is too demanding at this time. So taking an administrative position is kind of undecided, and I'm just kind of just feeling it out and waiting. Slide 11, when do I plan to retire? Retirement is so far off my radar. I'm just in the middle of my 9th year of teaching, so I have some time to consider before I can consider retirement. I think the opportunity will present itself when I'm ready in life. I would like to think that I get out of education before I'm that mean and grumpy teacher that needs to be forced out. But as far as a timeline, I would still say I'm undecided. I'm just going to keep teaching and being in education as long as I like it and it's not hindering my personal life, then I think I'm meant to be here. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good day.